here for part 2 on making a fighter on D&D Beyond. Real quick, if you're watching this for the first time, understand this is part 2. We went through the first page in the last episode just a minute ago. So if you haven't watched that, do me a favor and watch that real quick and then pop back over here. I'll wait. Anyway, so to part 2 of making a fighter. Today we're just going to be going through the second page. Here you're looking at the first page, just a quick overview of our fighter that we are going to be making, Zorarok. And so we're just going to pop onto the next page. You'll see on the right here a little blue arrow here that's going to say next. We're going to pick that, and we're going to be selecting our race. Now, first thing is you're going to see sources. For a lot of you guys, you are not going to see a lot. The only ones you are going to see is actually the basic rules. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with some of these basic character types, unless you happen to be in part of my campaign. I know a lot of my players watch this, and then you will have access to all of the books that I have. So, there you go. That's what I got. And maybe, one of these days we'll go through these. I don't know, and just talk about what my favorites are. But we're going to do this based on what I am seeing and deciding on a race for our fighter. So we're going to go over to all sources here, and we're just going to go down the list real quick. I'm not going to go into a deep discussion about each of these races that we have available to us, because I want to try to keep all of these videos under around 10 minutes. So real quickly, Aarakocra. They are your bird people race. Racial traits, flight, talons, little eagle eye there. Sequestered in high mountaintops atop tall trees. The Aarakocra, sometimes called bird folk, evoke fear and wonder. Super cool race. I will say this, there are some DMs out there who will say no to letting you play Aarakocra, and I understand why. Flying in the D&D universe can be very overpowered, especially if you are not ready or equipped as a DM to handle it. But talk to your DM. I allow it because I'll know it's coming. As long as you guys let me know you want to be a bird person, that's fine. That's cool. Just understand everyone's going to have a ranged weapon now, and there's going to be some flying monsters coming at you. So next is custom lineage. So this is just a customized version of something, just allowing you to exactly what it says, and I hate that I'm going to say it, customize your lineage. You can use this following traits to represent your character's lineage, giving you full control over how your character's origin shaped them. Plus to an ability score, a feat of your choice, dark vision, or skill proficiency. We will get into what all those things mean as we get into the other pages here. All right, real quick, just going through it. Dragonborn. These are your dragon lizard-like folk. I say lizard-like folk and not lizard folk because lizard folk are an entirely different thing. Dragonborn. Let's look at it. Wow, we've got some options just because of the books I have. You've got your chromatic dragonborn, your regular stock dragonborn, your gem dragonborn, and your metallic dragonborn. So you got chromatic, gem, and metallics. I know a lot of you new players out there are going, what does this mean? Ask your DM. If they don't know, go on YouTube. There's so many great YouTubers out of here that really get into the lore. I enjoy it. I know a lot of people do. I watch it all the time. And message me. I'll give you suggestions. Anyway, scrolling down here past Dragonborn, you have your dwarves. These are exactly what they sound like, guys. You got gray dwarves, you've got hill dwarves, you've got mountain dwarves, and it'll go through, if you go through it, it'll explain to you exactly what they are and some of the lore and background for them, so you can choose what kind of character you want to be. Dwarves, we're make fighter, that's a good option. But nowadays, as I said in our last video with Tasha's, you can really choose any type of race, any type of character you want to build. You can build it now, and it's amazing. All right, so after dwarves, we have elves. Exactly what you think when you think elves. We've got dark elves. We've got the Eladrin, which, and I'm going to really, shorten the explanation here. There's something called the Fey realm. Some of you who are more inclined to know about lore can really get into that. The Fey realm pulls a lot from mythology, particularly Celtic and Gaelic mythology. For those of you who are familiar with a Mr. William Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream very much so takes from that. Eladrin are from that realm. Your next one, you've got your high elves, you've got your wood elves, you've got dark elves, just a bunch of elves. And again, you just pick this and you get a small description of what that means and what, something to take with you and go, okay, what kind of character I want to make with this race. So fairy. This is a new race, guys. Again, from that Feywild I talked about. Small elves with insectile wings. It's exactly what it sounds like, guys, and it can be fun. I haven't played one yet, but I look forward to it one day. All right, scrolling down past the fairy here, we have the Genasi. Genasi are... And again, guys, I can get really into each one of these and really explain in detail what these mean. And maybe we get into that as time goes. They're elementals. And that is a deeply watered down version of what they are. I know there are people out here who just heard me said that. And actually... I know. So what we've got here, the Genasi, you've got the air Genasi, earth Genasi, fire Genasi, water Genasi. They're exactly what you think they are. They look exactly what you think, like air Genasi. Look at this guy. They're cool. Try them out. Learn about them. As an air Genasi, you're a descendant from the Jinn. Okay? So the Jinn are your genies. And we could get all into that. There's so much lore here, guys. I invite you to look into other YouTubers, all of them more experienced than I am, frankly. But they've got such deep lore and history in their videos. We've got people like Jordan with a PHAORPHAN. We've got AJ Pickett. Both of those guys are two of my favorite, and there are many more. So again, Genasi, very cool if you want a little bit of elemental flair to your character. All right, so after the Genasi, you've got your gnomes. They're your little guys. They are your tinkerers, but not all of them. You've got your deep gnomes that are a little more, look at that guy, And again, there's so much lore to each of these races. It can be very cool if you really want to get into it. So after your gnomes, we've got your Goliaths. Goliaths make really good fighters again, guys. But again, you can choose whatever you want to do. Goliaths are good fighters, barbarians, paladins, anything you need muscle, Goliath. It's all there in the name sometimes, isn't it? All right, next. And I just don't know why it keeps on going all the way back to the top every time, but bear with me, folks. So we've got half elves, which are exactly what you think. They're actually a very popular race to play in D&D because statistically they have a lot of benefits to playing them. Here, let's just go ahead and open it. So you've got your different types. So I've got aquatic elves, drow half-elf elves, your standard half-elf, your high half-elf, and your wood half-elf. We'll just look at the standard half-elf. Dark vision, sway, interesting, skill, versatility, and then you can go on to this page, just to learn more. They're a really effective class. People use them. A lot of people, everyone loves them. And it's, if you want to have fun and you want a very good, effective character, half elf is never a bad way to go. Half orc. So we know orcs. Orcs are not a playable race, my guys. They are considered a monster race. Are there DMs that allow them? Of course there are. But I am not one of them, only because I don't allow homebrew content at my tables. But again, half orcs, they're in the books. I'm going to allow them. If they, and this is just, again, guys, this is just my take as a DM. I've always gone this way. If it comes from a book that is published by Wizards of the Coast, I am very likely to accept it. You can ask any of my friends who have played with me that's generally my rule. But half orcs, again, very effective as fighters. You got a lot of choices here, guys. Halflings, everyone knows the Hobbit. It's exactly what you think it is. No need to look any further. Harengon, again, a new race. I love them. I've played them in a campaign recently. They are very effective at what they do. A lot of these character races, it's all about finding what they're good at, what their niche is, and exploiting it as much as possible, or not. It depends on how you want to play. But, you know, Harengon, definitely an option if you're, you know, if you're having a fun campaign and you want to do kind of a Alice in Wonderland thing, which is very Feywild, you know, Harengon. Gotcha. Mad Hatter. There's other options too, you know. Let's see. Someone's going to remind me. It's a movie. It's the old book with all the bunnies that are fighting. Someone in the comments is going to be like, yeah, it's Watership Down. And I just realized that as I said it. Yeah, I'm thinking of Watership Down. Read it. Watch the movie. I think it came out on Netflix as a movie a while ago. It was pretty good. But anyway, Harengons, rabbit folks. I digress. Human. Ain't nothing wrong with a human. Frankly, that's probably what I'm going to pick because I like getting a feat, like we talked about earlier, right out of the gate. Lineages. These are your horror monsters. If you want to be a vampire, a kind of zombie character, or something sort of in between, these are your guys. Totally cool. Haven't played as one, but I've seen people play of them, and they can be real fun. They're definitely fun to role play because you've had all that backstory that you can add into your character if that's something you really enjoy doing. Tiefling, those are your devil-touched creatures. Again, this is a case, and this is why I paused, of where I can get really into the backstory. Again, look at your other YouTubers like AJ Pickett and Jordan PH's side on it. I love those guys. They have all this great lore, you guys. Look it up on Wikipedia if you want to know more. I'm here to help you get there. I'm here to start the show, and however far you want to take it, you take it. And maybe I'm there with you, and I hope I can be there with you for as long as possible. But Tieflings, a lot of great war, a lot of lore, a lot of conflicting moral issues, because you've got these people who are created, depending on which lore you subscribe to, by evil, but they are not necessarily controlled by it. But you have societies who all they see is demons. So that can be a fun thing to roleplay and explore. Turtles. I know one of my players goes, as soon as I said turtle, went, yeah, no, we know turtles. She plays a turtle. She was kind of upset when I told her she didn't get to play her turtle character this time. Not because, I didn't like it. I love her turtle character. It's one of my favorites. But it's just like, got to try new things sometimes. And sometimes, sometimes we have to force the issue a little bit. Turtles, they're turtle people. Turtles on the half shell. Ninja Turtles, go for it. Oogway, go for it. Heck, make something up yourself, please. It's fun. They're super, super fun to play, and they're super, super hard to beat for a DM. So DMs, watch out. Right, and then the last one I have is the Asimir, which is your angel folk. I know he kind of looks like Vision, doesn't he? Well, it's kind of like that, but with wings. Again, this is a winged player race. Not a lot of DMs allow you to. I do, just because, hey, as long as you let me know before you get to the table, I can plan for it. Which could, but the way I've always said it, if it's good for a player, it's good for a DM. So if you're good to play a flying creature, I'm good to use flying creatures as well. So just keep that in mind. All right. So the Asimir, super cool. They're your angel race. They are typically of a good, lawful alignment. Again, I keep mentioning this thing called alignment. We'll get more into it as we go through the pages. And we'll even talk about the alignment chart. I'm sure, we'll bring it up on DND Beyond here, so we can really get into that. But what race are we going to choose for our fighter today? You know what? I'm going to go with the classic. Ain't nothing wrong with choosing, baseline human. I'm going to use the variant. Just read into it, see what makes it different. And we'll talk about that as we go through. Choose race. Boom. Done. And it already goes over to the next page. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope that was helpful. And once again, as always, good luck, adventurers.